Hello class 7 students. Today we will start from page number 125. That is, we will continue the chapter of internet and its applications, right? So first we will learn about the app Skype, or you can say about the software Skype. It is basically provided by Microsoft and it is used for meeting, or you can chat using this application. You may call, that is audio call, and you may call using video, that is video call, to another person who is at any corner of the world. This application is used by using internet, and anyone can download the app in mobile, and this application software can be downloaded in computer also, right? And what are the interface of Skype? Just I want to show you that thing. Just see, here we have the interface of Skype. So as you can see, this is the interface. This is the interface of Skype. Here you have the contacts, and you may do the conference call also, and at the same time you may chat over here. And as I have told you that it is the software or application which is provided by Microsoft. Now come to your book at page number 125. As given there, Skype is an application that allows you to undertake text-based chats, audio and video-based calls using the internet as the medium. That is, via internet you can use Skype to call, to audio call, video based call, and text based chat. And it was founded in 2003 by Niklas Jenstorm and Janus Freelise, when they created a little piece of software that made communicating with people around the world easy and fun. So you have to remember the names and year and why Skype is basically used. Things needed to use Skype: an internet connection, broadband is best, speakers and microphone, webcam to make video calls, and you may use also laptops, tablets and smartphones which has cameras inbuilt. And the Skype application, we can download the Skype application free of cost from the internet, as I have told you. So for video call, as you need the camera and the webcam for the desktop, and laptop it has already its camera, smartphone is same, and you need the speaker and microphone and a proper internet connection. And using Skype to make a call, here as I have already shown you the interface of Skype. Here, as you know already, all of you are using WhatsApp and Zoom classes are there. So all of you know how to use video and audio call in any application. So it is similar to that. Just I am showing you the interface. This is the interface. You have the list of contacts here. Here you can see for smiley or for images, and you can attach the file over here, and contacts are given also at the left side, and these people are in the conference call. And the Skype communications company that owns Skype software was purchased by Microsoft Corporation in 2011, and this means Skype now belongs to Microsoft. Already I have told you that. And some of more applications that we have in our Google Play Store app. So some mobile applications are there, like Amazon application we use, BlackBerry World, OVI Nokia, Windows Store. Windows Store is also provided by Microsoft. Windows Store is also provided by Microsoft, as you know, and this is Samsung application. In Samsung, in any Samsung phone, you may have this Samsung application. Now, more about apps. So, a mobile app is a small, self-contained computer program designed to run on mobile device such as a smartphone and tablet, and computers, and it is generally used to perform one particular type of task. So an application is basically used to perform a particular type of task, and different app stores, like we have Google Play App Store or Google Play Store, as you know, we have. Similarly, there are Windows stores from where we can download the applications. Those are provided by Microsoft, and Samsung applications are same, those are provided by Samsung company, and OVI, Nokia similarly, and Amazon App Store, so where you can download the applications provided by Amazon. Now just see, Google Play is an international online software store developed by Google for mobile devices that work on the Android operating system, and it has more than 1 million applications available for Android. So actually we all know that all the applications those can be executed in Android app, those are available in Google Play Store, because Android is the operating system of phone which was developed by Google. And Apple's App Store provides apps for its iOS based mobile devices, that is iPhones and iPads. So, Apple's App Store provides the applications those are compatible with iOS based mobile devices, that is the applications for iPhones and iPads. And other app stores, like here you have Amazon applications, BlackBerry World, OVI, Nokia, Windows Store, Samsung applications, etc. So in this in this case of applications, as I have told you, that some apps, so this like Android, for Android applications we need Google Play Store. For Apple's applications we need App Store. For micro, that is Windows, for the applications those are compatible with Windows, like some phones have the operating systems based on Windows. For the applications in this operating system we need the Windows Store. And remember one thing, some applications are free while others must be bought. Most of the time at nominal prices, usually they are downloaded from the App Store to the required mobile device. Most of the applications will run only on mobile devices, but some applications also run on laptop and desktop computers. Actually, nowadays maximum softwares are developed with its application, so that those softwares can be used in mobile phones. And advantages of using apps. So what are the advantages of using apps? Say there are millions of applications available on the internet, and people use different applications for different purposes. So as you know, we use various applications in our mobile phones to fulfill our requirement, and the use of applications saves times. And you can, one more thing, that you can use anywhere at any time those applications to do your work if you are connected to the internet. And app gives better control over the task that you want to do, as most of the applications are the task specific, and apps have user friendly interface to provide a better user experience. And last one, apps make working simpler. For example, a banking app simplifies the process, remembering your login information for the next time and presenting the critical data about how much money you have got in big chunky fonts, and are designed to make everything vastly more readable on a smaller phone. So for banking applications and for any other process like word processing, like for presentation, you can use these applications. Now downloading an app from Google Play Store. So I think already all of you are aware of how to download the application from Google Store. So for that, first you have to open the Google Play Store. Here as you can see, these are given, the steps are given over here. So for that, first you have to open the Google Play Store. So you have to click on Google Play Store, then you have to search the name of particular app. If you want to download Facebook Messenger or the Twitter application, in that case just you have to type the Twitter in the search box and see the applications, the application, that particular application will be in front of you, and you have, at that time you have the option to install it. So you have to click on install button, and that particular application will be installed in your phone. And after downloading and then installing, you will get the option to open that particular application. So these are the steps how to download and install any application as per your requirement. Now remember one thing, you can follow similar steps to download and install applications on an iPhone, iPad and Windows based devices as well. Now uninstalling an app. So for that, what to do? For to uninstall any application, first you have to open the Google Play Store. Then here you have to click on the left side menus, and there you will get the My Maps and Games, and there you will get the app options on updates, installed and library. So whenever you will get installed, that means the applications those already are installed in your mobile phone. So you have to select the application and right click on it. You have to select that particular application, it will be opened, and you will get the option to uninstall or open that particular application. So in this case you have to click on uninstall. That particular application button will be, for that you have to click on that particular uninstall button, and that application will be uninstalled from your mobile phone. And some popular applications, so here you can type on some popular applications in Google Play Store. Popular applications or apps available in Google Play Store. So these are the applications which are available in Google Play Store. So a list of applications you will get which are available in Google Play Store. Through that you can select some applications of your requirement. As you can see, here we have few applications like Flipkart, Amazon, WhatsApp, Wunderlist, Google Art, Tumblr, etc. So Flipkart is the e-commerce application, as you know. Just see, this is Dropbox application. So just see the list of applications. There are various applications available in Google Play Store. Just you have to just see Amazon. This is also the e-commerce app, which is what we can say the online shopping applications like Flipkart as you have in your book. So this is basically used for shopping online. So this is the e-store. So this is an e-store application that allows you to shop for variety of items online, including clothes, electronics, household items, grocery, furniture, medicines, and so on. And similarly, as you know already, we are using WhatsApp very much. WhatsApp is basically the social networking application, you can say, is a very popular social networking applications for mobile devices owned by Facebook.com. Yes, WhatsApp is bought by Facebook, right? And here is, as you can see, Facebook Messenger. This is the application which is used to message the friends added to your account in Facebook. And Flipkart is also the e-commerce app that allows you to shop different items online, like mobile phones, tablets, electronic gadgets, clothes, furniture, utensils, etc. And next one is Wunderlist. This is an application that allows you to make list of things that you have to do in a day. This is like a virtual diary that you can share with your friends, who can make amendments to the items you have listed. So this is Wunderlist. And next one is Google Art. Google Art is basically used. Next one is Google Art, and Google Art is basically used to see the position of a particular place in the art. Or this is an application that allows you to explore the globe with a swipe of your finger, and you can use to view satellite images of any part of the world, including your own city and locality. And Tumblr, this is an app. This is basically a microblogging app. This is an app allows you to create and follow short blogs or tumble logs that can be seen by everyone online. Even children can create their personal tumble blogs for sharing photos, videos, and things they find funny. Right. Now just come to the activity given at page number 129. Skype is an application that allows you to create animations. This is false. Second one, Amazon, an app that allows you to shop online. This is true. Third one, Flipkart is an application for making list of to-do items. No, this is basically the Wunderlist. So this is third statement is false. Fourth statement, WhatsApp is a popular application owned by Facebook.com. Yes, this is true. And last one, apps are generally designed to run on mobile devices. This is also true. And computer viruses, now just come to computer viruses. This is very important part of your syllabus. Computer viruses are the malicious software programs. So just remember it. This is also the software programs, but these are malicious software programs designed to harm the computer system or data stored on it. An important feature of the computer viruses is that they can replicate themselves, that is, they can make their copies and infect the computer. Now just come to different types of viruses, that is macroviruses, boot sector viruses, file infecting viruses. Macroviruses, these are the most common viruses that attach themselves to the Word or Excel program files on your computer, and they then replicate themselves and spread to the other files on your computer, and sooner or later choke your computer and destroy your data. Next one is boot sector viruses. These viruses attach to themselves to the boot sector of your hard disk, where instructions to boot up your computer are stored, and the boot sector virus becomes active each time you start up your computer. So boot sector viruses is basically active when you start your computer, and this remain at the sector of hard disk. And file infecting viruses, this virus is attached to a program file, and when you run the infected program, the virus copies itself into the computer's RAM and spreads to other programs. Now just come to other types of malware. So we have learnt about virus and different type of viruses, and next just come to the point of malware. So besides viruses, there are other types of malware which can infect our computer and cause harm to its hardware and software resources. Worms and Trojans are examples of such malwares. So, what is worm? What is Trojan? So, a worm is a malicious program very similar to a virus. Like viruses, worms can also replicate themselves and adversely affect the system. So, sorry, so it can replicate itself and it can adversely affect the system, that is affect the system very immensely. And trojans are not exactly viruses, as they cannot replicate themselves. They lie hidden in a program, usually in games, and they may display a message, erase a file, to make you lose your data. And do you know, next part is, what is a logic bomb? So so you have to remember the points of different type of viruses, the definition of virus, and the types of malware. Now, a logic bomb is a piece of code designed to perform a malicious function when specified conditions are met. So, this is the logic bomb. And for example, you can say, for example, a programmer may hide a logic bomb in this company's computer system and may set the date of his removal as the trigger, and the logic bomb will become active when the date of his termination is entered into the system and will perform the specified action, like deleting files, causing system crashes, and modifying data, and so on. Now, just come to the next page. How computers get viruses? So, how computers get viruses? Generally, through email or through any other software, we can get viruses. That is, through internet, a computer gets viruses. So, a computer can get viruses from a number of sources. Some common ones are given below. So, there are various sources, like here you can see an email attachment. Already I have told, an email attachment that you may have opened while reading an email. This can be the source of virus. And while downloading a software from internet, you can download the virus. So you may also download the virus. That is, the virus will affect your computer. Third one, an already infected pen drive. Right. If there is a virus in the pen drive and you have inserted the pen drive in your system, in that case the virus will infect your system, and a person may even gain unauthorized access to your computer and infect it with virus. And CD, DVD, or floppy disk, if there are some documents with viruses and you are opening all this in your computer, in that case your computer will be infected by virus. And the internet is the biggest source of viruses. According to some estimates, there are currently millions of viruses roaming freely on the internet. That is, viruses are moving freely on the internet. Now, warning signs of a virus attack. So, how you can understand that your computer is infected by the virus? So there are few symptoms, like your computer runs slowly for no apparent reason. Second one, programs take longer to load. Third one, files disappear from your hard disk without deletions. Fourth one, program files biggest in size. Fifth one, you have trouble in opening or saving any Word document or any other document. Your screen color changes or shows storage messages, and devices that once worked are not working may any more. So without you changing any of the system's configuration, so device that once worked are not working anymore, and without you changing any of the system's configuration. Now, how to avoid viruses? So how to avoid virus? How is it possible to avoid virus, like to avoid any disease. So remove all data transfer media, pen drive, floppy CDs from the computer before switching it on, and do not open an unknown Word file directly in MS Word. Use WordPad instead. As any macro virus so in that case, as any macro virus cannot infect WordPad. So any macro virus cannot infect WordPad. So any Word document that is in your computer from any USB pen drive, in that case you just open it using WordPad before opening it with Microsoft Office. And third one, use a various protection software such as Norton Antivirus, Kaspersky, etc. Kaspersky, etc. And AVG also. So there are many antiviruses, and using an antivirus software. So how to install an antivirus software like Kaspersky? So an antivirus, what is and the definition of the antivirus software. So an antivirus software is utility software that protects our computer being inspected by the viruses, being infected by the viruses and malware. If our computer has already been infected with a virus or viruses, the antivirus software helps to remove those viruses from the system. Now how to install the virus? Just you have to download the software of antivirus, and you should have the license, that is you have to buy the license of that particular antivirus, and then just install the antivirus, and you have to provide the serial keys also. Next one, remember part, the full scan. Now how to use antivirus? So for that, how to use antivirus? So for that, just come to any folder here. If you have some folders, just select any file, and if you have the antivirus, in that case just see this option, Quick Heal Antivirus Pro Scan, and if you want to do the scan, in that case see it will be scanned. See, in this way it will be scanned. Here we have Quick Heal Antivirus Pro, so it is just scanned. In this way you can do the scanning of a particular file, right? Now remember one thing, the full scan option will scan all. See, again I am showing you, just see, here we have skip folder, skip file, pause, close, and custom scan. Just see, back to menu, and different options are there. The full scan, see the scan, see quick scan, full system scan, custom scan, memory scan, boot time scan. So quick scan means a document will be quickly scanned. Full system scan means the total system, that is the total documents stored in the computer will be scanned. And custom scan means you can select the particular softwares or particular documents to scan. Memory scan means the memory of the computer will be scanned, and boot timeline scan means the computer will be scanned at boot time, right? So these are few steps how you can scan your computer and the methods of scanning your document saved in, stored in computer. Now just come to activity given at page number 132. I will upload all the activities and all the solution of worksheets in the school app. Read the clues and name of the following. So first one is a malicious program code designed to harm your computer is virus. Second one, a document that is sent with an email that can be source for viruses is called email attachment. And third one, the biggest source of viruses is internet, and the most common virus that attaches itself to the Word or Excel files, that is microvirus. And a malicious code that cannot replicate itself is called trojans. Now we have few terms to recall and few important terms to learn. So few terms like wiki. Already we have learnt about wiki. Wiki is the technology that allows the creation of collaborative websites. Now, what about Wikipedia? Wikipedia is the world's largest ever expanding online encyclopedia. Anybody can use it to get information on any topic. And next one, the websites where people meet online and exchange messages, comments, pictures and videos are known as social networking sites, and you must take elementary precautions while using social networking sites. Blogs are virtual diaries created by individuals and stored on internet. Yes, blogs, as you know, are the virtual diaries, that is someone can write about anything and it will be spread on internet. A computer virus is malicious software that can harm the software and hardware parts of your computer. To minimize the threat of a virus attack, you should always have an antivirus software installed on your computer. Now just come to few terms to learn like wiki, a technology that allows the creation of collaborative websites, social networking sites, websites that allow people to share messages, comments, pictures and videos and so on. YouTube, the most popular video sharing website owned by Google. So here actually the videos are uploaded in YouTube and after that it is shared. The link is shared through School app. And apps, what are apps? A small self-contained applications designed to be used on mobile devices. And what is blog? A regularly updated website or web page typically maintained by an individual or a small group is called a blog. Now just come to next term, virus. A malicious program code designed to infect and cause harm to the hardware and software resources of a computer. So virus is basically malicious program code which is designed to harm the computer. Now come to the antivirus, a software that is designed to protect and clean a computer of viruses and malware. So antivirus is basically used to protect and clean computer from viruses. Therefore this is all for today. Stay safe, stay at home, keep watching videos.